So just a quick disclaimer before we start. This is not a political episode. It's not going to be any political commentary. I think you hear enough of that, and we're not qualified to give you any political commentary either. Today we're going to be talking about how to find kindness in chaos. I don't think anyone would disagree that the world feels pretty chaotic right now. But even when things feel out of control, you can still find moments of kindness.
Absolutely, and it's so important that we don't lose those moments of kindness within the chaos.
Absolutely. The first thing we're going to talk about today is the importance of self-kindness during chaotic situations.
Definitely. I think it's very easy to lose ourselves and our mental well-being, especially when there's something chaotic going on.
Absolutely. So I know the term self-kindness can feel pretty vague. What exactly does that mean? I don't think self-kindness and self-care, they're sort of the same things, but they're different things in my mind. How I define self-kindness is any action, anything that I do that brings myself joy, comfort, security, and most importantly, inner peace.
Absolutely, and this can look different for everyone. Maybe it's watching your favorite TV show. Maybe it's, not looking at any screen. It can look very different, but we can all find that one thing that we really enjoy and bring us happiness.
Absolutely. And I think it's so important to go back to these things that bring us joy and make us happy when the world feels dark and scary and empty of joy, I guess, for lack of better words. So self-kindness should definitely be a priority in moments of chaos. Another thing we wanted to talk about is the importance of prioritizing your mental health. We're firm believers in, how can you give of yourself if you're feeling empty?
Right, of course.
And service is so important. Giving to others and helping others is so important. But we have to remember to take care of ourselves as well.
Of course, and if we don't do that, we could lash out at other people. We could, deflect negative emotions onto people, when that's never our intention. But our negative emotions could come out in ways we don't want them to.
Absolutely.
And that doesn't mean we can't feel those negative emotions, but we do have to be mindful of how those emotions affect our interactions.
Absolutely. I think kindness on a communal scale and on a global scale starts with ourselves. I find it so much easier to be kind to others when I'm being kind to myself. So, start there, friends. Another thing we really wanted to touch on, and I think we could make a whole episode about this, but I think it was relevant to talk about now more than ever, was learning how to set healthy boundaries for yourself. And we're talking about particularly with things like social media and the constant intake of information.
Yeah.
This whole year, pretty much, I think we find knowledge to be so comforting.
Mm-hmm.
The uncertainty and the not knowing is frightening. So we turn to things like the news to keep us informed and to keep us up to speed with everything. But this constant intake of information is not healthy. Our brains weren't wired to think this way. So, and I'll speak from experience. The other day we watched the news all day. And in the moment, it felt right because I wanted to know what was going on. I wanted to be informed. But I'm seeing the repercussions of it even in the days following. It's not healthy.
Yeah, and everything we consume stays with us.
Yeah.
Whether we know it or not.
Longer than we think it does.
Yeah.
It's easy to turn off the TV, but then you're trying to process everything you just saw.
Mm-hmm.
And some of these things are incredibly hard to process.
And some of these things leave us with so many questions that we can't answer.
Yeah. Yeah. Why is this happening? How is this happening? What is going on?
Yeah.
How do we fix this?
And not having the answers can feel really stressful.
Absolutely. So what we suggest for this, just to start setting healthy boundaries, is first think about the content you're consuming. Thinking about think about the effect that content has on your mental health.
Yeah. And maybe actively seek out the content you want to consume.
Yeah.
You know, if you just want to read good news, there are resources out there that you can just find good news.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Your attention is so valuable, and you have a say over what you want to give your attention and your time and energy to.
Yeah.
So set those healthy boundaries. A great way to do this is be honest with yourself and ask yourself, how long can I go without, whether it be the news, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. How long can I go without it? And schedule times for it. I'm going to watch the news in the morning and in the evening, or I'm going to watch it every 3 hours, or I'm going to check in periodically through the day. But by setting those boundaries, having that self-discipline to say, I get to control the content I'm consuming, and I have a say over,
what you dedicate your time to.
Yeah. Yeah. How about we all just take a deep breath really quick? This has been a constant reminder over the past couple days. Everyone I've talked to has been stressed and anxious, and that's valid, And I think it can be hard too when it feels like everyone is stressed. It's like this communal, global.
It's like, who do you go to release that stress?
When everybody else is stressed. Yeah. So maybe to finish out this episode, we'll just take a couple deep breaths together. Yeah. I want to remind you, this was a thought I had the other day. I'm the type of person who likes to solve problems and figure things out and have answers and have solutions. And I found myself getting really overwhelmed by everything and wanting to find the answers and wanting to find solutions, that it got to a point, I had a panic attack because I couldn't, these issues that I was trying to fix in my little head they were huge and global, and change doesn't happen overnight. Change is a long and difficult process, but it is possible. Don't lose hope. And no one is asking you to change the world today. Not to say that you can't change the world, not to say that you're not able to change the world. But if all you do today is make it through the day, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
And something to be proud of.
Definitely.
Yeah. Don't worry yourself sick.
Yeah.
And I know that's easier said than done. But no one is asking you to save the planet today. We can save the planet, but it's going to take time. One day at a time. And there's going to be setbacks, and there's going to be times when you feel defeated. Hang in there. So, a couple deep breaths.
Yeah.
All right. When we're ready, let's inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And one more. Inhale and exhale. Breath work has been so important to me over the past couple days.
It works.
It works. I used to think it was a bunch of crap, but it works. So we're going to be meditating, we're going to be doing yoga, we're going to return to all of these practices that help us stay grounded and help us find kindness. And I think those things are how we can show kindness to ourselves.
Absolutely.